Hello and welcome to Legacy IS Academy. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about October month's current affairs with respect to environment. Okay? So the first topic for today is the climate change threatening the methane cycle in the Amazon rainforest, and in general we will be discussing about the methane cycle also. Okay? So by fact we have studied sufficiently about methane. Just a quick reminder that methane in terms of 20 years has the global warming potential with respect to carbon dioxide that is 80 times. I will repeat this statement. Methane has potential of 80 times as that of carbon dioxide for 20 years. But if we try to compare it with respect to 100 years, this is still 28 times as that of carbon dioxide. Okay? So methane in general is very potent GHG gas or a greenhouse gas. It can capture huge amount of reflected rays from the earth's surface. Okay? So talking about the global methane pledge, why is it running into news? Because there is changing climatic conditions, not only of course in the Amazon rainforest, all across the earth's surface. There are certain changing climatic conditions, and this might disrupt the existing methane cycle within the Amazon rainforest. Okay? So the cycle involves the production, consumption, replacement. कि methane कहाँ produce हो रहा है, where is it getting replaced, where is it getting absorbed. So that cycle is getting disturbed because of the anthropogenic activities. ठीक है? So if we talk about the ideal conditions, under ideal conditions, the amount of methane that was being released under natural processes also, जैसे कि कोई wetland है, there is some amount of methane emissions, some small amount of agriculture, say with there is some amount of methane emissions. तो ये जो भी methane emissions हो रहे थे, this was being absorbed by the hydroxyl ions. As part of the methane cycle, it was getting absorbed by the hydroxyl ions. But if your emissions are very high and hydroxyl ions are not sufficiently present in the atmosphere, obviously we are going to disturb the overall methane cycle. Okay? So some of the things that have come up in the methane research is this, that Amazon floodplains are responsible for 29% of the global methane emissions. वर्ल्ड का लगभग 1/3 और more than 1/4, less than 1/3 is the total emission, methane emissions, that is coming from only and only Amazon rainforest. So obviously it becomes very crucial कि आपका emissions कितना चल रहा है. ठीक है? Secondly, climate change heightens the activity of methane producing microbes, that we understood कि because of the warming climatic conditions, this normal methane cycle gets disturbed. तो जो methane releasing microbes हैं, they become overactive and methane absorbing carboxyl ions, hydroxyl ions, not carboxyl ions, hydroxyl ions, they become they are less available, so इसलिए absorption नहीं हो पा रहा है. ठीक है? Upland forest in the Amazon act as methane sink. ठीक है? So you do have good hope. अब तक हमारे पास ये option था कि because even if Amazon was responsible for 29% of the global methane emissions, we did have upland forest. Upland forest क्या होता है कि along the plateau, the high-rise mountains of Amazon forest, they were acting as methane sinks. ठीक है? जो कि लगभग 70% of absorption capacity रखते थे. But now we are cutting down on these forests because these are also the reserves of petroleum. तो इसका मतलब जो जिनकी कैपेसिटी थी अब्जॉर्प्शन करने की, उनकी भी कैपेसिटी कम होती चली गई है because overall upland forest cover has reduced in Amazon. ठीक है? Talking about the cycle itself, the methane cycle, तो addition, atmospheric addition कौन-कौन करता है? We call them as methanogens. These are microbes which are responsible for addition of methane in the atmosphere. तो because they are responsible for addition of atmospheric methane, तो इसका मतलब कोई absorb भी कर रहा होगा. Methanogens are responsible for release, but we do have methanotrophs which are responsible for absorption. These are again aerobic bacteria present in upper layers of soil. They are responsible for absorption of methane. Apart from that, hydroxyl radicals also, undergo methane oxidation, और मीथेन के ऑक्सीडेशन की वजह से some amount of methane gets absorbed. ठीक है? अब वार्मिंग क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस की वजह से they have become hyperactive. Because they have become hyperactive, तो जो सॉइल में बाइंडेड मीथेन होते थे, they are getting released. ठीक है? So that is one source of increased addition of methane. Of course, we do have deforestation followed by agricultural usage, increased agricultural cultivation, plus cultivation of food crops such as rice, which has increased the overall methane emissions. ये सभी reasons हैं. But if we are talking about the climate change related aspect and that as a factor responsible for methane emission. So with that as a factor, then we do have the rising global temperatures, and that is activating the methanogens, which is releasing more of methane. Okay? Now, climate change has affected the methane cycle because of excessive methane that is getting released from soil. But yes, if soil se nahi ho raha hai, it is also taking place from permafrost region. Permafrost region on the earth's surface refers to those regions which remains permanently frozen. ठीक है? So we call them as clathrate methane. Clathrate methane मतलब these are those methanes which are crystallized. क्यों? क्योंकि ये पानी के आसपास थे, and because water solidified, so we had methane trapped within these water bodies also in solid form. ठीक है? So cold oxygen poor marine sediments, maybe we had clathrate methane, and clathrate ice, also known as the methane hydrate. These were all acting as the sinks of methane. But again, there is because of global rise in temperatures, these glaciers are melting, and that is leading to release of these clathrate methane or clathrate ice, which was methane hydrates. So all in all, एक तो global rise in temperature की वजह से methanogens have become active, plus melting the permafrost region has also been responsible for release of methane. ठीक है? So that was regarding the first topic. The next topic is regarding India's alignment with global biodiversity goals. So the last year 2024 के end में we had a meeting at Kali, Colombia of UNCBD. ठीक है? And because in this video we are discussing about the October month's current affairs. So this news states that India has prepared its goals, what it is going to submit at the Kali Columbia's meeting. Although the meeting has already taken place, and as and when we discuss the current affairs, we will be discussing that part also. ठीक है? But talking about this part that India shall present its biodiversity targets at the 16th COP. 16th COP took place at Kali in Colombia of UNCBD. UNCBD stands for United Nations Convention for Biodiversity. ठीक है? So UNCBD क्या है? Actually, this is talking about the conservation of biodiversity or access and benefit sharing. If you are making use of the resources of biodiversity, then you need to give the benefits to the traditional community who has informed you about the benefits of such particular resource. ठीक है? So access and benefit sharing, I would say, is still just one component of UNCBD, but UNCBD का primary intention क्या है? That conservation of biodiversity, conservation of existing plant and animal species, and conservation of the existing forest cover. ठीक है? So India का जो targets that we have presented to Kali Columbia, this is in line with the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Now this we are talking about 16th Conference of Party, और UNCBD की बैठक जो होती है वो हर 2 साल पे होती है. So 2024 में we had this meeting. ठीक है? But इससे पहले वाली जो meeting हुई थी, we call them as COP15, और ये because it takes place every 2 years and this was taking place in 2024, so COP15 took place in 2022, but 2022 was also the year of COVID. So the meeting was actually taking place in Kunming in China, but because of COVID it was shifted to Montreal in Canada. So we call this as Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework or KMGBF. ठीक है? Now what is KMGBF? KMGBF के अंदर कुछ 23 targets under 4 global goals हैं. 4 big agendas के अंदर 23 targets हैं. ठीक है? और this is non-legally binding. क्योंकि ऐसा देखा गया है that previously if we have put up binding restrictions, for example Kyoto Protocol में we had put up binding restrictions, so there were no actions being taken and the protocol itself had failed. ठीक है? So for this time when UNCBD में we were presenting the targets under KMGBF, this was specifically mentioned that it is non-legally binding. Plus, we are also not developing any structure, any entity which will be looking after every country's implementation. There will be ongoing processes. For example, temporarily कुछ targets को assess करने के लिए कर दिया जाएगा, but we will not be setting up an institution जो कि long term progress को monitor करेगी. Time to time कोई institutions बनते रहेंगे और progress check होता रहेगा. ठीक है? So talking about KMGBF, it did not require a mandatory system also. So not every country is, or rather every country is not mandated to implement the KMGBF targets. ठीक है? But just the way UNCBD, UNFCCC had kept Paris Climate Deal and the goals INDCs, similarly KMGBF is a voluntary goal. It's a non-legally binding and it is not mandatory for every country to follow this. ठीक है? 23 targets for 2030 and 4 global goals for 2050. If we try to classify these 4 goals, तो UNCBD के 3 primary aims के साथ ये मैच करता है. What are the 3 primary aims of UNCBD? First, reducing the overall biodiversity threat, because this is United Nations Convention on Biodiversity. तो बायोडाइवर्सिटी को अगर कोई थ्रेट होगा तो दैट उसको रिड्यूस करना इज यूएनसीबीडीज टास्क. ठीक है. सस्टेनेबल रिसोर्स यूज एंड इक्विटेबल बेनिफिट शेयरिंग. इक्विटेबल बेनिफिट शेयरिंग कहने का मतलब हुआ कि whatever be the benefits that you are accruing from the biodiversity, that must be shared with the traditional community who has informed you about the benefits of that biodiversity. We call this as access and benefit sharing, and this is very important component of UNCBD. ठीक है. Next is implementation tools and mainstreaming solutions. So let's say कि you are trying to conserve biodiversity. What are the tools that you can make use of? What are the innovative ideas that you can make use of? And how do we mainstream this idea? How do we mainstream your focus? Let's say your idea is to turn towards infrastructural development. Roads banane hai, bridges banane hai, pools banane hai. So if your idea is that, then how do I mainstream conservation of biodiversity in development of infrastructure? That is an intention of UNCBD. ठीक है. So we have presented our targets, लेकिन इसमें इंडिया की तरफ से there are certain concerns, or either I would say the environmentalists from India have these concerns. The first concern is कि India follows something called fortress conservation. Fortress conservation. That is the way India has been able to implement its conservation strategies with respect to environment. So what is fortress conservation? Fortress actually refers to a killa. In Hindi it is called as killa. So basically it refers to an area in which we will be focusing on environmental conservation only. ठीक है. But UNCBD का कहना है कि when you are conserving environment, then the traditional communities who are living in those biodiversity hotspots should be allowed to stay in those areas. ठीक है. So we follow fortress conservation, and fortress conservation says, India follows usually fortress conservation, which says that conservation will be done only with respect to environment, and human inhabitants of those forest areas shall be expedited, shall be removed, not expedited, shall be removed out of the forest area. Okay? So that is one idea of India's conservation, environmental conservation. And on the other hand, we also have Ministry of Tribal Affairs ka one of the acts that is known as the Forest Rights Act. Forest Rights Act grants titular rights to the forest dwelling communities for if they have fulfilled certain criteria. ठीक है. So on one hand, we are granting the forest dwelling communities as the titular rights. On the other hand, we are talking about fortress conservation, in which conservation refers to only conservation of environment and not the human inhabitants living in that forest area. So that is one concern from the environmentalists of India, that the way we are trying to present our goals in under KMGBF, this is following the fortress conservation, and in which we will not be focusing on the tribal inhabitants who are living in this area. Okay? The second concern is India's Forest Conservation Amendment Act of 2023. So Forest Conservation Act was already existing. Forest Conservation Act was amended in 2023, in which we have included कि जितने भी zoo हैं, safari हैं, ecotourism है, these are also India's forested area only. ठीक है? Now, because these are forested areas, so if you are talking about conservation of the existing forest, then we mean the forests of zoo also, the forests of ecotourism places also, the forests of safaris also, which totally might not be exactly a forest. ठीक है? Although the protected areas such as national park, wildlife sanctuaries can be forest, but zoo we cannot call this, because this is not a completely forested area. Safari might not be a completely forested area. So wherever we are carrying out safari, that might not be a completely forested area. So the environmentalists from India again are concerned about this fact. India's Forest Amendment Act Conservation Act was amended in 2023, in which we have added these areas also under the forested area. ठीक है? Which may actually make the entire conservation efforts much more shallow. Okay? Proceeding to India's target, the targets that we have presented at after KMGBF at Kali is halting the introduction and spread of invasive alien species, access and benefit sharing with the traditional community, and power to indigenous people and local communities, women and the youth. सो जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग हमारे यहाँ पे इन्वेजिव एलियन स्पीशीज है उनका प्रेजेंस को हॉल्ट करना है एंड वी नीड टू रिवर्स दैट ट्रेंड, ठीक है. Second thing is whatever be the access to the genetic resources that will be shared with the traditional forest dwelling community. Whatever be the benefit that has been accrued out of these access and benefit sharing will be given. That benefit will be shared with the traditional forest dwelling community. Okay. And third is power to the indigenous people, local communities, women and youth, that they will be more and more empowered for the conservation efforts. Now this is what India has presented as a goal. In reality the things are very very different, ठीक है. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, this is regarding Nagarjun Sagar Sri Shailam Tiger Reserve. So Nagarjun Sagar Sri Shailam Tiger Reserve is along the boundary of Andhra and Telangana, and it has been ranked first amongst India's 55 tiger reserves. तो हमारे यहाँ जितने भी टाइगर रिजर्व्स हैं उसमें क्या बोलते हैं, तो हमारे यहाँ जितने भी टाइगर रिजर्व्स हैं उसमें नागार्जुन सागर श्री शैलम टाइगर रिजर्व हैज बीन रैंक्ड फर्स्ट in terms of its leopard population. So leopard population of this tiger reserve has been highest amongst all the 55 tiger reserves that we have in India. What are the talking about this tiger reserve itself, this is within the Nalamala hills of the Eastern Ghats, and some of the important tigers that we get here includes some of the important faunal species we get here includes Bengal tiger, includes Indian python, mugger, crocodile, Bengal monitor and star tortoise, ठीक है. But this is dominated by teak, this is dominated by bamboo and other native species belonging to the dry deciduous and moist deciduous के बीच का combination है, ठीक है. And this is drained by the Krishna river, ठीक है. So this was regarding Nagarjun Sagar Sri Shailam Tiger Reserve. The next topic is regarding National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plans Tracker. Now remember in KMGBF we studied that there will be no institution which will be monitoring every country's progress regarding implementation of the KMGBF rules, ठीक है. But not an institutional presence will be there. There will be definitely there will be time to time we will be creating a tracker which will be monitoring the implementation of every government, ठीक है, or every country. So this is one such tracker. The name of the tracker is National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plans Tracker, ठीक है. This has revealed that only 10% of the countries worldwide, only 10% of the nations are fulfilling their biodiversity commitment ahead of COP16, ठीक है. So whatever the countries have promised at KMGBF and whatever be the targets that was given at KMGBF, only 10% of the countries are actually following their targets, ठीक है. Now who gives this ranking? That is very important. This ranking, this indexing, this calculation shall be done by WWF, and remember this is an NGO, not a part of UN, ठीक है. It monitors the progress of various countries implementing the KMGBF, ठीक है. The next topic is regarding the rise of green hushing amongst carbon neutral certified firms. So there are certain carbon neutral certified firms. Carbon neutral certified firms matlab कि these are certified that you people are not emitting carbon. Whatever be the emissions of carbon, you are absorbing that carbon, ठीक है. But there is a rising trend of green hushing amongst these firms, ठीक है. Now what is green hushing? Green hushing actually refers to silencing or not discussing whatever be your environmental efforts, sustainability efforts, वो सारी चीजों को अगर कंपनी पब्लिश नहीं कर रही है, if they are not marketing along that line, so we call this as green hushing. So you are hushing your environmental efforts or sustainability efforts. That is the meaning of green hushing. So this is very very weird. So far I would say in less than a year back, green washing was into news. One or 2 years back, green washing was into news. That means even if the countries were not actually putting the effort, they were calling themselves as green carbon neutral firms, ठीक है. But now the rising trend is even if the companies are carbon neutral, they're not discussing about that, they're not displaying about that, they're not marketing along that line. So why is that trend emerging that we will be witnessing, ठीक है. So talking about the green hushing, why do companies do so? So first point is to avoid the political and regulatory scrutiny. So let's say if you are calling yourself as a carbon neutral company, or all my energy consumption is from renewable energy, ठीक है. So then you will have regulatory clearances. There will be a commission from Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change who will come and check, verify actually that did you actually put up efforts to shift towards renewable energy? What are the efforts that you have put? Or and then they will try to scrutinize and monitor every utilization of energy and try to state this might not be renewable energy, this might not be renewable energy. So these companies face so many political and regulatory scrutiny, and to avoid that, they are not discussing about their environmental efforts. Second, very weird law that is in USA, that there can be a lawsuit that can be filed against a company who are prioritizing environmental goals over the goals of the shareholders. ठीक है? तो अगर आप shareholders के profit को prioritize नहीं कर रहे हो, environment को prioritize कर रहे हो, तो there can be a lawsuit that can be filed against such kind of firm. ठीक है? So that was also object. That is also one of the reason companies are not discussing or green hushing. They are not discussing about their environmental efforts. ठीक है? The next reason is public perception of high cost. So let's say if a company calls its product as environmentally very healthy or green product, so then you will have public scrutiny. ठीक है? Or at least public will try to judge those things. Public will try to judge, stating whether are you actually carrying out efforts, putting up efforts for ensuring that your product is healthy and green or not. ठीक है? And in that process, your cost of the product might increase. To avoid that increase, there is a public perception that we should not be buying such products, because every company will claim that they are selling green products and they might not actually be selling it, but this is a method for them to increase the cost. So they will put up environmental efforts, sustainability efforts, and not discuss about it, so that whatever be the cost that they are mentioning will be bought by the public. Okay? Last is avoiding the greenwashing accusations. Greenwashing accusations refers to greenwashing actually refers to not genuinely putting up efforts for shifting your products to be green, but in reality your products might not be green, but you are publishing that. Okay? This is known as greenwashing. For example, somebody claims that my products are undergoing green deliveries. So green deliveries matlab the emissions that while delivering your vehicles are using, these are all from the renewable energy, and that might not be true, because we are not so much dependent on renewable energy as we are dependent on coal. Okay? So this refers to greenwashing. तो ग्रीन वॉशिंग के एक्यूजेशन से कंपनी अपने आप को बचाने के लिए, टू प्रोटेक्ट देमसेल्व्स फ्रॉम एक्यूजेशंस ऑफ ग्रीन वॉशिंग, दे डू नॉट डिस्कस अबाउट देयर एनवायरमेंटल एफर्ट्स. ठीक है? बट इससे हो क्या रहा है? व्हाट आर कंसर्न्स? First is the reduced ability to track and verify. There is reduced ability that we are not actually able to ensure are we moving in the right direction, because companies are not discussing about them. So we are not able to find out what are our genuine efforts to shift towards clean and green environment. Okay? The second problem is delayed adoption of sustainability practices. If one company, even if putting environmental efforts, is not claiming to do so, all other companies will think that none of the companies are actually putting up environmental efforts, so they will also not be putting so. Okay? So ये delay करेगा adoption of sustainability practices and consumer choices, that they may tend to purchase anything which is less sustainable with an equivalent amount of cost, just because the company did not claim that this was product which was environmentally more sustainable. Okay? So public might also promote such kind of companies which are actually not producing environmentally sustainable goods. Okay? So that was with respect to green hushing. We'll continue our discussion with respect to October month's current affairs. We'll continue our discussion with respect to October month's environment current affairs. Thank you so much and all the very best.